What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I am your host, Rex Ruger, along with the Nicaraguan Nightmare himself, the Alexis Arguello Puppet.
And I'm your other host, Frank Benji's, back with another episode.
Yeah, we're going to get our guest.
Cold upstate New York. I got that blanket on, folks. Man.
No, don't do the blanket, son. Don't do the blanket. Upstate New York. There he is. What's up, champ?
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you and see you fine. Can you hear us?
Yes, indeed.
DEVON Alexander the Great. Glad to see you, man.
My man. How's it going?
Good. First of all, man, catch people a little bit up before we get into talking about your career. Catch people up a little bit on what you're doing post-boxing now. I was reading that you were trying to promote some boxing shows and open a gym. And how are those endeavors going?
Oh, man, they are receiving it very well. My first show was November 4th in St. Louis. It was called the DEVON Alexander Amateur Boxing Invitational Classic. I invited 6 Midwest cities to the show. It was a sellout.
Nice.
The slogan for the fight was "Fight in the Ring, not in the neighborhood." St. Louis got a lot of crime here with the younger people, and what I'm trying to do is try to combat that with boxing. Boxing does save lives.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to get. And that you don't even have to compete. I tell mothers and fathers, put your son in boxing. They would appreciate it in the long run for it.
Yeah. And I got to ask, especially since we've been seeing a lot of these hybrid events, and these crossover events, where do you stand on how those are for boxing? Like when you see these boxers versus MMA, or even worse, you see somebody like these, Jake Paul, like these YouTube fights. Do you like these overall for boxing?
So I'm a fighter, man. I'm a fighter. I'm a old school type of fighter.
Yeah.
So that should tell you, hell no, I don't like it. So, but times has really changed. Times is different. There is no way back in Tyson era, Muhammad Ali era, all those Sugar Ray Leonard era, Jake Paul wouldn't be able to step foot in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
But it's being allowed. Showtime is allowing it. They are entertaining it. So who am I to say yay or nay? For me, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because it takes away from so much of the fighters who has put their blood, sweat, and tears in this boxing game, who has been in the game since they was kids. And they haven't had an opportunity yet. So you really taking away from them. And for entertaining garbage, or I don't want to say do garbage, but entertaining, non-boxers or that type of, I don't know what to call it, but it's not boxing.
It's like the social media.
No. With that, because you said that you took that stance on it, what's your thoughts on Ngannou jumping right into the WBC's top 10 after an 0-1 start, obviously against Tyson Fury? He's been inserted as the number 10 guy for the WBC's top 10 rankings.
That's got to be infuriating when you talked about like guys grinding and doing this like since they were kids, and then a guy comes in and gets one fight and kind of leapfrogs all the other guys that are lined up trying to crack that top 10.
It's not like he won the fight and got to the top 10. He lost.
Yeah, so the WBC ranked him at number 10.
Again, that's that pandering to you're trying to pander to another section or another wave of fans that want to see that type of stuff, or want to see an MMA guy come over here and possibly do boxing. His fans are happy about it, but like I said, back in the day, this would not have to happen. And it's going to hurt boxing ultimately, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt boxing ultimately, because what about the fighters that's been doing it for all this time.
Right.
The heavyweights that's been there all this time, and somehow he's number 10. So that means he's knocked somebody off that's been there for maybe a year or so.
Right.
So
Good point.
that's not
Great
right.
point.
That's not right.
And so I got to ask though,
Politics too, man. Politics, money, and politics.
Yeah.
Kind of, rock the boat a little bit too. So
Yeah.
Well, that's obviously well known in boxing.
Yeah.
Money
Yeah.
in politics.
I think we've seen
Pretty
plenty
much.
of examples of that for sure.
Yeah,
But
pretty
so
much
I got to
outweighs
ask you, you got so many great names on your resume, but was there ever a fight back in your fighting days that slipped through that you were really pushing for or really wanted to see happen that maybe fans don't know that you wanted to fight this guy and it just didn't happen?
yeah, so I'll just start with the first one. The first one I was supposed to fight Floyd in 2014. He tweeted saying my next fight was with Devon Alexander. I just had beat Randall Bailey for the IBF belt. That one slipped through the crack. He fought a slower opponent in Baltimore.
Yep.
So couldn't do nothing about that. Keith Thurman was another one that I never got a chance to get it. We was talking about it, but never got a chance to. It never came to fruition. And it was all of the top welterweights. Name was next to mine. Eventually, it was, and we was talking about it. But it ultimately it didn't flourish. But that's boxing. You can't do nothing about that. Me personally, I don't hide behind my promoter or manager and say, "Hey man, it's up to my promoter, man. Let him choose." No, 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 no. You see that fighters got the power at the end of the day because Crawford and Earl made that fight for themselves.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, fighters have got the power. So I don't believe in all that hiding behind promoter. If we're gonna fight, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Two men agreeing to it.
I think the same thing could be just said about the playground. As boxing, like if you're gonna fight a guy, you're gonna fight him. It's not really gonna be like no picking around it. For money purposes, how you just gonna fight him.
Yes. Throwback fight. That's what you call throwback fighter. They fought everybody. The top guys in Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, all those days, they fought each other. If you was a top dog, they fought each other. Somehow this generation is, and I don't see it get no better because they getting softer and softer. So they're gonna be behind certain entities, and the fight's not gonna get happen.
I realize as a competitor, certainly, every loss you probably take hard. But was there one that really was the hardest for you to recover from? Obviously, I think of specifically the split decision loss to Andre Berto. I don't know if that one stuck in your craw or not, but I know obviously you got to probably forget it, move on, and focus to the next one. But was there really one that you really thought that should have went my way?
No, it was a couple. Actually, it was the Bradley fight, and it was that's a good point. You must have been paying attention. But Berto was one that I thought I did edge it out, and Bradley was one of them as well. I thought I could have did a little better, and I was a young kid, young champion at the time, and looking back. I wish I had the ability to say, fuck that let me continue,
Right.
to try to knock his head off. But my thinking was, man, let me save my eye. Let me live to fight another day. And then with the Berto fight, I think I gassed out at the end and I let him inch back up because I definitely won the fight. And I think a few people thought I actually won that fight. But I thought I won it. So yeah, Berto is one that I thought I let slip, and I hated it because around that time too, that's when I was coming back, and I was, after that fight, they were talking about maybe fighting Pacquiao or one of the top guys of the division. So that was a hard one.
I do got to say though, Benji's, that he does have a win over our buddy, man, friend of the show, Chop Chop Corley, man. You got his win over Chop Chop.
Oh yeah, yeah. Man, Chop Chop buddies now, man. We real good buddies.
Great guy, the best.
Not awesome guy. Did an exhibition with him. He called me, said, "Man, let's do an exhibition." Did that. But
he's always cooking up the elite eats too.
He's always he's always throwing down in that kitchen.
Chop Chop fight was the fight that really they began to pay attention to me.
Yeah,
because that was on the Roy Jones Trinidad card.
Yeah,
and that's when they really took off.
And shout out to Chop also, because we have such a good rapport with Chop that he actually let us interview his son, who's about to make he's probably made his amateur debut by now though. 11 years.
Oh,
he's 11 years old, wasn't he?
So he is right now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I'm curious. We're talking about your career, and you talked about fights that that you thought maybe you won. Is there any fighter that stands out to you that you fought that you feel like was like your toughest competitor that you had, and maybe it's not the normal guy that people would think?
Yeah, I tell you, I went to a school and I told this story to a school, and this student asked me that same particular question, and he said, "Man, who's your toughest opponent?" And I said it was Lucas Matisse, and I say that because I was struggling to make 140 at the time, and that's when I said, "Man, I got to move up. There's no way I can stay at this weight and be strong and competitive at this weight." And in that fight, I really, really didn't have no energy after the third round. I finished that fight just pure will, and that I was in St. Louis.
Yeah.
But I tell you that, in all my professional fights, I got hit with a good shot. But when I tell you this dude hit me with a body shot so hard, I had to fucking rethink myself. I said, "What the fuck am I doing in this ring?" He hit me so hard with that body shot, man. I have never been hit in the body that hard before. And he hit me a couple times with that body shot. And the crazy part about it, I'm so happy I was in St. Louis. My family was there, so I couldn't lose. I could not lose, so I had to muscle up the will to win it, to finish that fight, and that's how I was able to do it. But Lucas Matisse was my toughest for sure.
I'm glad you brought up will, though. I'm glad you brought up the strong will, because it's been pretty publicly noted that you yourself had surgery back in 2012 and slipped into a bit of an opioid addiction yourself that you fought through. And I could speak from having a bad back myself and going down that road and struggling with that myself, man, and finally being free of that monkey, man. What was that period like for you, and how did you overcome that? You talk a lot about will.
Ooh, so that right there, and just thinking back about everything that happened, I wish the doctors would have told me just how strong that stuff was.
Yeah.
Because I never dabbled with anything, smoking, drinking. I never even took a Tylenol, to be honest. I never even. If I had a headache, I just dealt with it. I just never. Yeah. And then that was my first experience with any prescription, anything. And somehow, after the surgery, I began a habit of like, what am I doing?
Yep.
What you can see yourself doing dumb shit.
Sure.
But it's just one more. It's just one more. So
right. I get that.
And you find yours. Hold on.
You got us.
And you find yourself a month later, calling the doctor. "Hey doc, I'm out."
Sure. Yep.
And and then they know me too, so it ain't made it no better. Because at a certain point, they supposed to say, "Nah, that's okay. I'm pretty sure you don't know damn pain no more. I'm pretty damn sure
that
pain's gone."
Right.
So, I do fault them too, because if they would have said, "Hey, no, we can't," it would have been done. That would have been done, and that would have been the end of my party. But somehow they said, "Man, you Devin Alexander. Here you go. Yeah, champ. I got you. I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just let's go. Let's go. Just and that was sick. Just
Yeah.
looking back, it was sick.
I think part of the reason of that is like you got these big pharmaceutical companies and they send the reps in and they give them luncheons and all this stuff to serve their medication. And they
Yeah.
don't want you to get better. They want their hooks into
The
you
$1
and
million
for you to keep
industry.
getting that medication.
Yeah. They want you to go right down that rabbit hole, man. They do. Yeah.
It's a rabbit hole for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I was one of those, and I was one of those guys that didn't understand. Like, why would somebody take anything that will alter your ability to function on a day to day? I didn't understand it at the
Yeah.
time, but being on the other side of it, I get it.
Yeah.
I really, really do get it. And I get why they don't want to stop either.
Right.
Because the withdrawals are so harder
Yeah.
than even taking it. So I get both sides and I understand. And I get, inboxes all the time. Like, how? Tell me, what did you do to stop, please? Because I am stuck in this twilight zone and
Yeah.
I can't. So I get it. I really, really get it. And that's another purpose for me too. That's another purpose, another avenue that I want to eventually get into and speak and go around the world, just speak on different scenarios that I was going through in that year that I was doing it and tell them, what's best and how to deal with that.
Yeah, yeah. Because I got to say, our natural tendency is to not want to be in pain. I mean, I've had a toothache, and I'm going to have it all weekend now because I can't get any help over the weekend. So, and believe me, man, it's like you can see how people can give into it so easily because naturally, no human being wants to suffer.
For sure.
None of us want to be in pain. Although I gotta say, champ, I wish you'd come out of retirement and do me a favor and knock this tooth out for me. That'd be absolutely amazing. You got a couple left hooks left in you?
No, I can't do that, my man. I gotta be motivated to do it. So just say, me and your friends, me and good friend, your son's good friend.
Yeah. I'd rather have it
just
that
can't
way.
do it. I can't do it to a friend of mine. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Now, one guy I gotta ask you.
So
about,
actually, no.
Right.
Actually, it's funny you said that because I'm kind of curious now that you said that. Like, so going into a fight with anybody you fought, nobody was your friend going in. I know you said Chop and you are friends now, but going into the fight, you was friends with nobody.
Is that your mindset?
No, sir. So a good fighter know how to turn it in, turn it on, turn it off, turn it in. When that first bell rings, ding, you getting your ass whooped.
Yeah.
I'm getting it. I'm taking it. Whatever, by any means, you getting your ass whooped. So, and then afterwards, you like mellow, more calm, and that's what boxing does too. And I've told people countless of times here, I got a big following now that I did my first amateur show with the kids, and the politicians and the people are behind me. And I tell people, I recommend boxing for every young boy in America. Every young boy in America should box at least 1 year. They should mandatory it because it will teach you that you're not the baddest motherfucker out here.
Yeah.
It will teach you
Yeah.
that if there is somebody tougher than you, you're not the toughest out here.
Yeah.
And it teaches them discipline.
Yeah.
It teaches them that you can get hit hard in life, but you don't just got to go kill somebody just because somebody hit you hard.
Right.
Like if you fresh off the street and get in the ring, you might be mad that that guy hit you real hard, but in the boxing ring, if you get upset, you gonna get tore up even more. You're gonna be crying. You're gonna be what you're gonna get tore up. So that's what boxing does. So that's what I want people to understand, that all boys should box. I don't know what age. It don't matter what age. Just put him in there for a year. I promise you, you will see the difference.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I think in this day and age, it's poignant that you say that too, because like you said, even for just a year to get that discipline and realize that ain't shit. There's always going to be somebody that comes along who's better than you. And I think in this day and age with the social media, everybody's yep on that
Yep.
social media.
Everybody's a bully. Everybody's a bully.
Talking
Yeah.
shit.
Yep.
And I feel like people don't realize in the real world you're not a bully. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you would
Yes.
get bullied.
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
just a bully here.
Yes. Yes. Say that
Anybody
again,
behind a
Ben.
keyboard can be one. Yeah.
Say it again, Ben. That is so true.
Yeah.
They don't realize there's somebody better. You want to be a bully? Okay, come here, come here.
Right.
Let me get in this ring right here.
I
Yeah.
got
Do that
something for
same
your
thing.
ass.
Yeah.
Have that same energy right here, right there. And they usually don't. Typically, they don't. And they calm them down.
Now, one guy that you came up with in Kevin Cunningham's gym was Corey Spinks. Any updates on, do you keep in touch with Corey? Because you guys were coming up at the same time. He was one of those guys, real slick, real talented guy, man. Any contact with Corey?
No, I saw him about, I would say 4 or 5 months ago. They did a show here in St. Louis, amateur show, and he was one of the guests that came. He lives in Florida now, but he was one of the
Okay.
guests that came, and I saw him. I was happy to see him. Still good friends, still chat every now and again. But yep, he's in Florida. And a family man. I think he's training some fighters too, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Now,
Hey, kid, you ever get up to Canastota, New York? Check out the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
I want to. I haven't been yet.
It's right in our backyard. Right in our backyard.
Actually, I haven't been to no Hall of Fame before, so I'm interested to go to one for sure.
Yeah, the fans would love it. The fans would eat it up, man. Especially
Yeah,
when they don't tell.
it's a real fan-friendly kind of feel. You know what I mean?
It is.
Guys just up
Yeah.
on the grounds talking, and
Yeah,
That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
it is fun. So do you
And-
got?
I just wanted to say the people in Canastota come out like you wouldn't believe. I didn't even know
Yeah.
that many people lived in Canastota or the surrounding
Boxing
area.
fans turn out.
they
Boxing
show
fans
up.
turn out. Yeah. Now, do you have a specific guy in your mind as far as boxing? We always hear this debate about who the GOAT is. Who's your boxing GOAT? The best of all time to you?
I don't have one in particular, and I tell people. A couple people ask me this question a lot, and I say I don't have no favorite because I like some of each and every one of the fighters that I've seen.
Every era.
Do I favor watching a fighter more than the other? Probably yes, but do I have a all-time favorite? No, because I know how hard this boxing game is. I get it, and I think all of us deserve some accolades and kudos because boxing's not an easy sport.
No, we have the utmost
Everybody,
respect.
everybody can't do that. Everybody cannot do this sport. And when you understand that, when you think about in that terms, I don't have a favorite. I like to watch a fighter, yes, but I don't have a favorite fighter for sure.
Is there a guy?
I'll tell you what, champ. Like we were talking about people on Facebook getting loose with the lips. I'm in some boxing groups on Facebook because we promote the channel and stuff. And there was a guy getting legit in an argument back and forth with Michael Colbert, 30-4 in his career, telling him he wasn't shit, all this stuff. And I commented back, I'm like, listen, buddy, I don't know who the hell you're talking to, but this guy was a pro. So
I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah.
I do hate that. And a lot of times when I do see that, these people haven't even fought before or haven't even tried to put on the glove, but they got an opinion about, man, it is so hard to get in that ring. People do not understand how hard it is to get in that ring. And a lot of times they don't get it. They don't get it. And I hate to see people dog a fighter out. I hate that. Because no matter the record, the accolades, the sport is tough.
Yeah.
You can die at any moment in that ring. So the sport is tough in itself. But to just go off and say a fighter ain't shit and all, I don't like that.
Well, I like
Like,
what you
really.
said. I like what you said too about the record necessarily not being a reflection of the man, because we have
Yeah.
seen people, and our buddy Chop Chop is one of those guys. He
Yes.
became more of a gatekeeper, not a great
Yes.
win-loss record, or a guy like Emmanuel Augustus. You know, certainly not
still-
a reflection. Certainly not a
still-
reflection of the kind of fighter he is.
Still beat the shit out of your next door neighbor.
Damn
Yeah.
right.
You know
Damn
what I
right.
mean?
Chop will knock somebody's head off
Yeah.
if they try that boy. So don't get it twisted. That's why I said I don't like it. You know, I like to treat everybody the same, and that's just me. You just never know who you run into, who you might need later on down the line, and you went off on this person right in front of you that you went off on, and that person like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
I got my life in his hand. My life is in this dude, and I just went off on this dude. So you got to treat everybody the same. That's just how I like to live my life. My dad taught me that the humility. You just never know who you are talking to
Right.
or who you may need down that road. You're supposed to make people
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I think the wonderful saying is treat the janitor and the CEO the same.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And, so I got to say, 2023 has been a great year. We've finally seen some guys really stepping up and making some big fights. Are there any that stick out in your mind? We've obviously got a big one tomorrow night with Benavidez and Boo Boo. Yeah, that's a great card, by the way. I just watched the weigh-ins. What a card from top to bottom.
A card. What
Amazing.
a card. That's what we need.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Boxing has taken some blows over the years, of the last few years. Then you got MMA. They want to outdo boxing so bad. I get it. But boxing is just an American sport that people just gonna always love. They're gonna always watch who's the best heavyweight, who's the best this, they're gonna always watch it. So in my opinion, I think it's a silly argument to go back and forth with the MMA and all that, because it's no comparison. They do what they do, we do what we do.
And Dana takes all their money.
Yes. They can't compete. They just start making money like we did. They top 10 don't even make the type of money as they should. I don't know why, but they don't. So there's no comparison, to be honest. But this is what boxing needs. These type of fights, like we're gonna have tomorrow. We need those fights.
Yeah.
Because
Stacked cards.
there are stars in boxing right now that can make a lot of noise for the boxing community. And it just need to happen. Stop hiding behind all that promoter stuff. That's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Well,
Now-
actually, we're talking about the fight that's coming up, but we just had a fight too, and we talked to Robert Garcia the other night, and I asked him this question too, and he was at the fight, and he left in the fourth round because it was so boring. But that Shakur Stevenson Edwin De Los Santos fight, what was your makeup of that fight? Because me and my dad watched it together. We were talking on the phone while we were watching it, and it was not fun.
Yeah.
It was as good. It was as good as taking. It was as good as. It was as good as
I
taking an
like
Ambien.
Shakur. I
It was
like
like taking an
Shakur a lot.
Ambien.
I want Shakur to be a great champion.
And those, you will have one of those fighters. You're gonna have one of those in your career. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think I had one of those, and when I was 15, maybe 16, it was a stinker. But they say he was hurt. I think he did shoulder or something like that.
Yeah.
He hurt his shoulder or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with boxing, man. Like, you can't. They don't leave you room for excuses when you at this level.
Yes.
When you at the top level.
Yeah.
All the excuses they don't want to hear. They
Right.
want to see you kick ass. If you say you the best, you need to kick ass every time you get in there. Every time.
Yeah, and especially if you want to catapult yourself to that pay-per-view status.
Yes. So it was a letdown for a lot of his fans, a lot of people that like him. Will he continue? Yes. but it did let people like, oh shoot, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
It made people second guess his ability to carry that torch that
Yes.
they think he can carry. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Now here
Well,
comes one.
it seemed pretty obvious that De Los Santos wasn't skilled enough to cut the ring off and make him decide. So I
for
felt like it
sure,
was Shakur's fight to lose
for
the whole
sure,
time, but
for
he didn't
sure.
do anything to win it though either.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Both of them was timid. Both of them was like holding back, And for his opponent, he's supposed to just go for it. Like this is his opportunity to the
Yeah.
world.
Right.
Introduce yourself to the world, and he didn't do himself no justice for his brand either. So,
Yeah.
but like you guys are saying, it really hurted him. But now, and that's the tricky part about this boxing game. So what got him there is skill and his ability to be smarter than his opponent. He don't want to let that get to his mind and do something dumb in the ring, get caught and get in the ring and try to fight differently than what it got him there. I did that.
Yeah.
And I hate that I changed my style up. I hate that because my coach told me, "Hey man, look, these TV people want to see excitement because that's when MMA was just coming and they was just knocking people out first round, yeah,
No way.
and yeah, and I hate it. That's one of the regrets in my career that I hated that I changed my style up. I changed from using the ring a lot to trying to be a fan friendly fighter, and I started getting cut. I started getting caught with shots that I normally would, and I hated that. So I don't want Shakur to make the same mistake because Floyd never changed.
Right.
Floyd never changed. He give a damn if you can boo him or not. As long as he winning, hey, fuck it.
Yeah.
Hey, boo me.
Yeah.
Well,
That
So
is
see, I don't want to like sit here and say that I'm shaming that style at all
for
because
sure, for sure.
I'm a big fan of that ability to make guys miss and stuff. But Floyd, as he got older, it wasn't as
As
fierce as it was when
exciting.
he was
Yeah,
younger. But when he was
yeah,
younger, he make you miss and then make you pay.
Yeah.
yeah.
He would
You know
Oh
knock
what
you
I
guys
yeah.
mean?
out. Yeah.
Like
Woo-hoo,
Old
that's what
Floyd. Yeah.
yeah.
Shakur's
Old
got to
Floyd would
do
knock
is
you out,
make
or
you
the young
miss
Floyd would
and
knock
make you
you out.
pay.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, that Arturo Gotti fight, man.
Yeah.
Woo
He was
wee.
piecing him up. Yeah.
That's
Yes,
that's what Crawford did to Spence. Made him
Yeah.
yes.
miss, made him pay
Made him
Yeah.
all
pay.
night.
Yeah.
And man, when he made him miss, woo
And
wee.
now, when you watch that fight, champ, when you watch that fight, because a lot of people have been on here on our show, and a lot of people have said that they didn't like the way Spence looked even coming into the fight. Did you see anything different about him? He has been through so much with the car accident and the eye problems. Did you think that even in his ring entrance, people were saying
My
he just
guy,
didn't look
man.
right all night?
I love Spence too, my guy, man.
Yeah.
Man, I no, I'm not because Spencer's not making an excuse about it. He's not saying he didn't look right, he didn't feel good. He just say, hey man,
Dude got me.
Crawford did his thing,
Yeah.
So if Spence not, there's no way I can say, man, he ain't look right. No. He obviously he was strong. He didn't make no excuses. He just said he lost. He was the better man. He lost. And in my opinion, Spence should not go right into a rematch with Crawford.
Yeah.
That was
That's
my
a
man.
bad idea.
Robert
Bad idea.
Garcia just said that the other night, and he actually said he would recommend Spence taking like a good solid year off and just,
Yes, that's a bad idea because that's still fresh in his mind. He need to get a win, a good solid win
yeah.
against a formidable opponent to erase all that what just happened. Because going back right there in that firepower that Crawford got, and still at 154 stronger, no, I don't. He
Yeah.
should not do that. He should think about it. Egos can get you hurt too. It's an ego thing that man, I gotta get that back. I gotta no. Be smart about it.
Yeah.
If I was him, be smart about it. go take you another fight. I'm pretty sure Crawford going to give him another shot at it, and they can do it again. But going right back, don't do that.
That's
Don't do
words
it.
of wisdom, champ. I like that you said that because you're right, man. You know, you do have that set sense of, I got to get revenge here. You know, I got to run
Yeah.
right back into this. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He listening to all the people around him. Dang, Spence, I thought you was cold, man. You and Crawford been going at it for 5 years, man, and he
I
beat
could,
you, man. You got all that pressure and all.
yeah.
man,
Don't get into it.
man, I know you know because you did it for real, but like I could hear my mans right now talking shit. You come back
Yes,
after a
sir.
loss and they're like, man, I
Shoo,
thought you was
Yeah.
like that.
I know. I know.
shoo.
Yeah,
I
that's
can hear
tough
them
to
right
take.
now
It's
talking.
tough to take, and it can be bruising to your manhood. I get it. You do want to get right back in there.
Yes,
It's tough.
yes.
That's tough to fight through, man.
It just the reason why I say that. Now, if the fight was close and it was a back and forth and it was a split decision, Crawford split edged it out, I can see him going back in there.
Yeah.
But this wasn't that. He took a beating.
Yeah, it was one-sided.
In my opinion, his coach should have been stopped the fight.
Yeah.
In my opinion, of course, you want to give the champion a chance to, do what he's gonna do. But man, Spence was getting caught with some shots that could have ended his career, or
Yeah.
could have
No doubt.
it could have went either way. So I would have been smart about it and say, man, let's stop it right here. Because
Not
that was a beating.
Yeah.
not to shit on the great Derek James, but his stable's taking a beating this year.
They have.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. His guys have gotten worked a little bit this year, man. Yeah.
One thing too, what he didn't realize now is too, this boxing game will have you here, and they'll take you down here
Quick.
fast as hell.
Yeah.
They'll love you one day,
Yeah.
and hate your ass the next day. I'm telling you,
For sure.
it happened. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Now, where can the fans find out what you got cooking, champ? If the fans want to find out boxing shows, any of that stuff, where's the best place for fans to get with you?
So here in St. Louis, I'm working on my I'm opening up a boxing gym called the DEVON ALEXANDER Boxing Academy. Here in St. Louis, it's going to be the boxing hub of St. Louis. So if you come into St. Louis, you want to come to my gym. If you got anything to do with boxing, my gym is gonna be where to go to. So I'm working on that, and then I just signed a contract with the college I had my first amateur show at. It's called Harris Stowe State University, and I signed a contract with them to do a seasonal show. So my next show is gonna be February 3rd, and which is the winter time. Then they're gonna do another show in the spring and another show in the summertime. So I just sign a contract with them, and they love that we did a sellout. So I'm gonna keep doing that right now, and then too, I'm doing personal training too. So I got a big clientele, and I'm trying to look for the next star coming out of St. Louis too. So working with that, and just taking one. And I'm a family man, so spending a lot of time with the family. Love my kids to death. Love my wife to death. So just living a dream, man. I'm blessed. I'm grateful.
I gotta say, Devin, you talked me into it, man. You're doing training now. I might get off the couch now. I might get off
man.
the couch.
Yeah,
Listen.
man. Come get it in. Come get it in. I'll get you ready. And two, I might talk to you during the exhibition too, man, because I
got the perfect opponent for him,
champ. I'm 50 years old.
I got the perfect opponent for him, champ. Ika Bayabuchi off the couch.
No, I don't want him. No.
Look. I know a referee that's here that's training, and he's fighting. He's like 55.
God bless.
And he's getting it in.
Yeah.
And you could do the same thing, Pop. I don't knock yourself. Don't sell yourself short.
Okay.
Go do it.
I'd rather pass that torch to my son, man. That's my son right there, man. He's probably the more equipped one.
I'm saying, champ, I've never been out west, but I'd like to see the arch there in St. Louis, man.
Yeah. Come on through. I'll show you guys a good time, man. Enjoy
Awesome.
yourself.
Yeah.
Man, St. Louis, everybody knows me in St. Louis, so I got you. Whenever you
Yeah.
guys
Well, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate it, and we enjoyed having you on, and hopefully you'll keep in touch, and we can do this again from time to time.
Absolutely. I would love to come on and just talk about the fight, my next fight I got coming up. Because I had Roy here at my first show,
Awesome.
November 4th. Roy came, they enjoyed him. So I'm trying to see who I'm going to bring my next show. So be thinking about it. Give me some suggestions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna bring another well-known fighter to my next show.
Yeah.
And just keep it going, my man.
I'm glad everything's going good for you, champ. We appreciate you coming on and doing this, man. We'll definitely have you on again, man. This was a blast, man. Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely. Good to talk. I like this duo though. This duo works.
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
This is what it's supposed to be, you know.
Yeah,
this is what the dad and the son are supposed to do.
And you know what? I gotta say, so far, champ, the boxing community has just been great. I mean, if you go on our channel, we've had so many great guests on there. I mean, just tons. I mean, outside of Chop, we've had, Ivan Robinson and Monty Barrett and just all kinds of great guests, man.
I don't want to drop too many names, but you're gonna know we might have them tomorrow by the grace of God. Lights out, man. Lights
James
out.
Tony. Might be James Tony tomorrow.
Like that. Don't stop, champs.
Yeah.
No matter what y'all do, y'all done started something good now, so don't stop.
Yeah.
Just keep going. If it get rough, sometimes it's gonna get rough. Don't stop.
Hey, if it gets rough and we need a guest champ, we're calling on Alexander.
Yes, indeed. I got you. I'm a promoter for you, so I got you.
Thank you. We appreciate you, brother.
If you need my help promoting or whatever, I got you.
Thank you. We appreciate it, Devon. Alexander the Great. And he is great. Yeah.
Absolutely, champ.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. Enjoy the rest of your holidays.
All right, champ.
All right. Love you, champ. Later.
Much love.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And to the boxing community, you're welcome, because there we are delivering another one. Holy shit. They just keep coming. Alexis Arguello's mouth is on the floor. Look at him over there. Amazed. He's looking at us like, why the hell do you guys keep doing it?
He said, dude, another time you didn't ask my question?
What?
I heard him back there, dude. He's mad because you didn't ask his question.
Yeah, his question was going to be Hagler Leonard, and I didn't get to that. How dare we? Well, that is, of course, to encapsulate it all, the great Devon Alexander the Great. Should have put the great at the end. 2-weight class world champion. That was your WBC and IBF light welterweight champion of 2010. Your IBF welter from 2012 to 2013.
Seemed a little mad at the WBC right there for a minute when we told him Ngannou was ranked number 10.
Yeah, he did hold one of their belts back in 2010. Yeah,
I saw it was sitting right behind him in the thing.
Well, James Tony said it best once in an interview, man, about WBC. Man, he said the WBC stands for We Be Crooks. So I mean, like, and of course we can ask him about that if we do indeed have him on tomorrow, which fingers crossed we will. But notable wins over Randall Bailey, Marcos Maidana, Lucas Matisse, even though he said that was his toughest fight. Somebody else said he was their toughest fight, too.
I was going to say that in the interview. Somebody else said that, but who was it? Was it Chop Chop?
Yeah, it might have been Chop Chop. Hit him the hardest. Yeah, he hit Chop Chop the hardest. Juan Urango, Junior Witter, and our man Chop Chop Corley. And even his losses, tough losses, man. Split decision loss, which he didn't really lose, to Andre Berto. Unanimous decision loss to Amir Khan. Unanimous decision loss to Sean Porter.
And like we're saying on here, folks, stop getting on these groups and fucking shit talking these fighters, dude. Michael Colbert should be in no comments anywhere, getting nothing other than love for being a pro boxer.
Yeah,
and getting in the fucking in the ring and fighting for our entertainment.
Who cares if the guy had a 30-4 record? Guess what, man? But fucking most of you fat asses out there on the couch, man, fucking get tired just saying the words 30-4.
Right.
So this guy climbed through the fucking ropes.
Don't do that.
And by the way, I did reach out to him, and he is willing to do the podcast as well. So
I'm sure he is. Did you tell him that we had an exchange on Facebook?
No, but I will.
You probably didn't even have to, but I'll tell him in the interview.
Michael Colbert,
I was the one that had your back in that.
Wait a minute, let's not give away too much. We're still recording here. I mean, of course. So you know what I mean. But if you're a Michael Colbert fan, guess what? You just got a little fucking pearl right there, man. You got a little bit of nugget. I mean, Well,
I said it in the interview anyway that I defended him.
Yeah.
So
And he deserves to be defended because guess what, man? People that fucking go in the ring and they box and they fight for our entertainment are warriors and heroes, man. We sit around with our popcorn and guzzling our fucking beer and fucking running these guys down, man. And guess what, man? 99.9% of you, of the rest of the world, wouldn't fucking do it.
Excuse me.
Let's have respect for these guys, man. What they put their bodies through, what they put their mental faculties through, what they put their families through with being away and training and their families watching them in the ring, getting physical harm done to them. I mean, come on, man. These guys are warriors, man. That's why it's all the utmost love and respect, man, for this sport that hopefully if our fans are tuning in, man, they feel the same way. Passionate about boxing. Passionate about the knuckle game, kids. Come on.
And it's not that passionate about all of it. I don't like talking about with Devon Alexander about the UFC guys. Those guys are underpaid. They're underpaid. Dana White is taking their money. I don't care if it's on our podcast and I'm the one saying it. Dana White is taking their money.
And Dana White ain't getting punched in the face. And no one's putting Dana White in an armbar.
Like, it is what it is. They're getting overshadowed because like their guys want to come to boxing and make money, not fight for fucking $60,000, $100,000 or whatever.
And obviously Devon Alexander could see that this is a winning combination right here, man. So like, yeah,
I mean, like, if I'm not mistaken, dude, like a max contract in the UFC is like $500K. Like if you win the fight, $500K is what you get.
Yeah.
And then you could get bonuses for like knocking the guy out, like an extra $100K or something.
Well, I also should point out to people, man, that our guest tonight, Devon Alexander the Great, was quite a decorated amateur, man. 300 wins against 10 losses. That is a stellar amateur career. I haven't heard one that stellar, man. And I'm sure there's probably some that are between there and what Lomachenko finished at, man. But that's damn near like Lomachenko numbers right there.
Wait, say the record again.
300 wins and 10 losses.
Yeah, that's
as an amateur.
Plus fucking 290.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. Yeah. And I like the fact that he doesn't mind being a mouthpiece for how serious prescription pharmaceuticals and how dangerous they can be, man, because, you know, as I said, I'm going through a hell of a toothache right now, man, and would love to have access to some great potent pain meds. But that's how it starts out, though. That's how it starts out. And as soon as they get their hooks in you, man, you can go down that rabbit hole, man. And kudos to Devon Alexander the Great, man, because that was probably, you know, we asked him about his toughest fight. That was probably his toughest fight, though, man, in all reality, man, you know, because it usually is. I mean.
Right. And on that note, I'm going to quote our great American poet, Gary Busey, by saying, I can go 15 seconds with anything. But on top of that, I'm going to say, like and subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell, find us on Facebook at Off the Couch Boxing. We're also on Facebook at Rex Ruger, at Frank Bengz. Find me on TikTok at Frank Bengz. Everything. I'm there on everything. And be sure throughout the week, man, to also don't be afraid, don't be shy to comment on our installments of Three Punch Combo, man. We do our top three lists is a several times a week. New thing we've established with our podcast. Agree, disagree. Trying to get it going off the ground a little bit. Yeah, and if you see us in person, man, ask us to show you our dot cards. If you see my dad in person, give him a left hook and knock his tooth out. Please, God, if you're out there, man. And even Devon Alexander said he wouldn't have the heart to do it. Considered us friends. Considered me a friend, man. Right. You know, that's touching, man. But I'll tell you what, man, you know, said he'd have to be provoked, man. But, you know, if he was here, man, I might have to dog him out, man, just to take that left hook, man. I need it. You know, it would be like the end of the great Edward Norton movie, 25th Hour. Nah, you couldn't even do it. I need you to make me ugly. I need you to make me ugly. He's too nice of a guy to dog. I couldn't even dog him out. I know. I like him too much. He's too nice. He is one of the good guys. Yeah. He is one of the true good guys. And put some respect on that name, man. St. Louis, Missouri, stand up. That's your Devon Alexander the Great right there, man. Two weight class, I should say. 2 weight class, 2 division champion right there, man. Holding down legit world titles, man. That's a world fucking champion right there, man. Respect, utmost respect, man. St. Louis, Missouri. Send him out of here with your fucking quote. Send him out of here with my quote. My quote is, kids,
pull your ear close and let Uncle Rex give you some pearls of wisdom, man. If you want to be a champion, then you have got to roll with the champs.
Yeah.